lie to you, make you feel like you were the crazy one. Well, let me tell you something. Today you take your power back. And the best part, you don't have to lift a finger to make them feel the pain they put you through. Watch this. Let me tell you something. You don't fight fire with fire. You don't waste your energy trying to hurt someone who has already lost themselves in their own selfishness. You don't lower yourself to their level, because the second you do, they win. A narcissist wants one thing and one thing only: control. They want to be the center of your world, whether through love or through pain. And when you react, when you argue, when you scream, cry, or try to prove yourself, you are still playing their game. But today we flip the script. You want to make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through? Then stop giving them the satisfaction of knowing they matter. Stop giving them space in your mind. Stop allowing them to dictate how you feel. Because the moment you decide to take back your power, that is the moment they lose everything. See, a narcissist doesn't feel like you and me. They don't have real empathy. They don't truly love. They don't truly care. Everything they do is about them. And that's why their biggest fear is not losing you. It's losing their ability to affect you. You ever notice how a narcissist reacts when they realize they no longer control you? At first, they'll try to sweet talk you, reel you back in with fake apologies and empty promises. But the second they see you're not falling for it, the second they see that you're standing firm, they panic, they lash out, they try to make you the villain. Why? Because they can't stand the idea of you moving on without them. They can't handle the fact that you've woken up, that you've seen through their lies, that you've decided your peace is worth more than their presence. And that pain is something they can't escape. Now listen, some of you are sitting here thinking, but I want them to hurt. I want them to feel what they did to me. And I hear you. I get it. The pain they put you through wasn't fair. The sleepless nights, the self-doubt, the feeling of being played, being used, being made to feel small. None of it was fair. But let me tell you something. The best revenge is never revenge. The best revenge is rebuilding yourself so strong, so unshakable that nothing they say or do can touch you again. Because the truth is, a narcissist only thrives when you're broken. They only win when you let them define your worth. But when you rise, when you step into your power, when you find peace without them, when you wake up every day knowing you are more than what they made you believe, that's when they feel the pain. That's when they sit alone at night, scrolling through your life, wondering how the hell you moved on without them. You ever seen someone regret losing you? Not because that's what you do to a narcissist. You don't argue, you don't explain yourself, you don't fight for closure you'll never get. You cut them off and you move forward. You heal, you grow, you take care of yourself. You focus on your goals, your peace, your happiness, because nothing, and I mean nothing, hurts a narcissist more than being irrelevant. See, they expect you to break. They expect you to beg. They expect you to crawl back, to need them, to validate them. But when you don't, when you show them that their absence is a blessing, not a loss, that's when they feel the real pain. That's when they realize they never had power over you, just the illusion of it. So hear me when I say this. You don't need revenge. You don't need to waste another second of your energy plotting how to make them feel what you felt. Because the truth is, the moment you stop caring, the moment you stop reacting, the moment you let go, that's the moment they start feeling everything they tried to make you feel. And by then, you'll be too busy winning to even notice. The hardest thing to accept about dealing with a narcissist is that they will never feel sorry for what they did to you. They will never wake up one day, look in the mirror and say, I was wrong. They won't suddenly realize the pain they caused, the damage they did, or the way they shattered your trust. And if you keep waiting for that day, you will keep yourself stuck in a cycle of frustration and disappointment. The only way to truly make them feel the pain they put you through is to show them they no longer have control over your life, because that's what hurts them the most. Not your anger, not your words, Not even your absence, but the fact that you are thriving without them. Narcissists don't operate like normal people. They don't process emotions the same way. They don't see relationships as mutual, give and take partnerships. To them, relationships are about power, control, and validation. As long as they can manipulate your emotions, they feel important. As long as they can keep you second guessing yourself, they feel powerful. That's why they play mind games. That's why they gaslight you, lie to you, cheat, manipulate, and twist your words. It's never about love. It's never about connection. It's about keeping you under their influence. But here's where they go wrong. They think their grip on you will last forever. They think their words will echo in your mind long after they've left. They think they've broken you so badly that you'll never be able to truly escape. And for a while, maybe they're right. Maybe you do replay the conversations, overanalyze the lies, question everything they ever said. Maybe you do go through a period where you feel lost, where you doubt your worth, where you wonder if you'll ever trust again. But here's the thing. They expect you to stay there. They expect you to remain trapped in that pain. What they don't expect is for you to rise. What they don't expect is for you to wake up one morning and say, enough. What they don't expect is for you to take that pain and turn it into power. That is what destroys them. Because narcissists thrive on your dependency. They need to feel like they are the center of your world. The moment you prove to them that they are not, they lose their grip. This is where silence becomes your greatest weapon. Narcissists are fueled by your reactions. They want you to argue, to defend yourself, to cry, to lash out. They want you to break down and demand answers. Because the moment you do, they know they still have influence over you. But when you refuse to engage, when you give them nothing, no anger, no tears, no explanation, that's when they start to panic. Because now they are powerless. Now they are the ones being ignored. And let me tell you something. Nothing haunts a narcissist more than being ignored. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to fight to prove a point. You don't need to seek revenge, because the greatest revenge is success. When they see you smiling, when they see you glowing, when they hear about you doing better than ever, it eats them alive. Because deep down, narcissists believe they are the most important person in your life. They believe you will never truly move on. The moment you prove them wrong, you hit them where it hurts the most. But listen to me. This is not just about them. This is about you. This is about taking back your power, your peace, your confidence. Because at the end of the day, making them feel pain should never be your focus. Your focus should be healing. Your focus should be growth. Your focus should be learning to love yourself again after everything they put you through. And when you do that, when you step fully into your power, trust me, they will feel it. They will feel the absence of your attention, the loss of your energy, the reality that they no longer have a hold over you. And that is a pain they can't escape. You don't need to waste your breath trying to make a narcissist see what they've done. You don't need to explain, justify, or beg them to understand. They won't. Not because they can't, but because they don't want to. A narcissist doesn't care about your feelings. They don't care about your pain. They care about one thing: control. And the moment you understand that, the moment you stop looking for answers or closure, that is the moment you take your power back. A narcissist's worst nightmare is losing control over you. As long as they can affect your emotions, they still have a piece of you. As long as they can make you doubt yourself, make you question your worth, make you seek their approval, they are winning. They don't need to be in your life to control you. If you're still thinking about them, still replaying the past, still trying to figure out what went wrong, they are still winning. That's why the best way to make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through is to cut them off completely. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You don't just block them, you erase them. You remove their voice from your mind, their influence from your heart. You refuse to let them live rent-free in your head for another second. And let me tell you something. When a narcissist realizes they can no longer control you, They panic. They will try every trick in the book to reel you back in. They will suddenly act like they care. They will send messages, leave voicemails, play the victim. They will pretend to change. They will say all the things you once begged them to say, but it's not real. It's never real. It's a trap, a test, a desperate attempt to see if they still have power over you. The second you give in, the second you respond, you reset the cycle. They win. And you're back to square one. But when you don't respond, when you keep walking, keep healing, keep growing, that's when they feel it. That's when the pain sets in. Because a narcissist doesn't know how to handle being ignored. They can handle your anger, your sadness, even your hatred, because all of that still gives them attention. But silence, indifference, that's what destroys them. You see, narcissists believe they are unforgettable. They believe they are irreplaceable. They believe you will always be affected by them. The moment you prove them wrong, they lose control. They start questioning themselves. How did they move on? Why aren't they chasing me? Why do they look happier now than when they were with me? That's when the pain hits them, not because they miss you, but because they miss the way they controlled you. And the best part, by the time they realize they've lost you, you won't even care. You'll be too busy living, too busy healing, too busy winning, because that's the real victory. Not making them suffer, but making sure they never have the power to hurt you again. So stop waiting for them to understand. Stop waiting for them to change. Stop waiting for justice, for karma, for closure. You don't need it. You don't need to hurt them back. You just need to move forward. Because the greatest pain a narcissist can feel is watching you become everything they tried to destroy. You don't fight a narcissist by trying to make them understand your pain. You don't win by explaining, by proving your worth, or by seeking justice from someone who never cared in the first place. You win by realizing that their greatest fear is not your anger, it's your indifference. It's the moment they realize they don't matter to you anymore. That's when they feel the pain. That's when their world begins to crumble. Because a narcissist isn't wired like you and me. They don't see relationships as connections. They see them as transactions. They don't love people, they use them. They don't seek to build, they seek to control. And as long as they have even a little bit of influence over you, they feel powerful. But the second that influence disappears, that's when they feel what they made you feel. A narcissist expects you to react. They expect you to argue, to cry, to beg for closure. That's what they thrive on, your emotions, your energy, your need for answers. The moment you stop playing their game, they don't know what to do. They start spiraling. They start wondering why you're not reacting, why you're not chasing them, why their usual tricks aren't working anymore. And that's when the tables turn. That's when they start feeling powerless. And trust me, nothing terrifies a narcissist more than feeling powerless. See, a narcissist never truly believes they'll lose you. They believe that no matter what they do, no matter how they treat you, you will always be there. They believe they've broken you enough that you'll always come back. And when you don't, when you cut them off, when you heal, when you move forward without looking back, that's when they feel the emptiness they tried to put in you. Because the truth is, narcissists don't know how to handle losing control. They don't know how to handle being ignored. But let me be clear, this is not about revenge. This is not about playing games or trying to make them suffer. This is about you. This is about taking back your power, your peace, your confidence. This is about realizing that the best way to make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through is to become the person they tried to destroy, to become stronger, happier, more successful, not for them, not to prove anything, but because you deserve it. And make no mistake, they will try to come back. They will test you. They will show up when you least expect it with fake apologies and empty promises. They will try to guilt you, manipulate you, convince you that they've changed. But don't fall for it. Because the moment you let them back in, the moment you believe their lies, the cycle starts all over again. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. You don't need them to admit what they did. All you need is to focus on yourself, to heal, to grow, to live a life so full, so peaceful, so powerful that the thought of them doesn't even cross your mind anymore. That is how you make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through. By showing them through your actions that they never truly had power over you to begin with. The moment you realize that a narcissist never truly cared about you is the moment you free yourself. See, they didn't love you the way you loved them. They didn't value you the way you valued them. To them, you were never a person with emotions, dreams, and a heart full of love. You were a resource, an energy supply, a tool to be used for their benefit. And as long as you kept giving, as long as you kept sacrificing, as long as you kept bending over backward to please them, they were satisfied. But the second you stood up for yourself, the second you started asking for the same respect, care, and loyalty you gave so freely, everything changed. That's when they turned cold. That's when they started blaming you for everything. That's when they made you feel like you were the problem. Because the truth is, narcissists don't want equals. They don't want partners. They want control. And the moment they realize they're losing control over you, they lash out, they manipulate, they gaslight, they twist reality to make you doubt yourself. They will do anything to keep you feeling small, insecure, and dependent on them. And that is exactly why the worst thing you can do to a narcissist is to prove them wrong, to prove that you are stronger than they ever gave you credit for. To prove that they never actually had power over you, only the power you once allowed them to have. That's why the best revenge is not anger, it's not confrontation, it's not trying to make them see what they did, because they never will. The best revenge is success. The best revenge is healing. The best revenge is showing them through your actions that they no longer exist in your world. See, narcissists have a pattern. When they realize they're losing you, they try to pull you back in. They'll suddenly act sweet, apologetic, and loving. They'll remind you of the good times, tell you they've changed, promise that things will be different this time. And if that doesn't work, they'll switch to guilt. They'll play the victim. They'll blame you for giving up on them. And if that still doesn't work, they'll turn cruel. They'll insult you, attack your character, spread lies about you, do anything to get a reaction. Because as long as you react, they still have power over you. But the moment you stop reacting, the moment you cut them off completely, emotionally, mentally, physically, that's when they feel the pain. That's when they realize that for the first time, they have no control. And that is a feeling they cannot handle. A narcissist doesn't fear being alone. They fear being irrelevant. They fear being forgotten. They fear knowing that they no longer have a hold over you. And when you show them that their absence is a blessing, not a loss, that is when they truly suffer, because for the first time, they are on the outside looking in, watching you live a life they never thought you'd have without them. But let me tell you something important. This isn't just about them. This is about you. This is about reclaiming your life. This is about reminding yourself who you are without their influence. Because for too long, they made you feel like you weren't enough. Like you weren't strong enough, smart enough, or worthy enough to stand on your own. And that was the biggest lie they ever told you. You were always enough. You were always powerful. You were always whole. They just made you forget. But now you remember. Now you rise. Now you move forward, not for them, not to prove anything, but because you owe it to yourself to live a life that is free, full, and fearless. And by the time they realize what they've lost, by the time they feel the emptiness they tried to put inside you, you won't even care, because you'll be too busy living the life they never wanted you to have, a life they can no longer touch. There comes a moment when you realize that the pain a narcissist put you through was never about you. It was never a reflection of your worth, your kindness, or your love. It was a reflection of their emptiness, their inability to truly connect, their desperate need to control. And once you understand that, once you stop personalizing their cruelty, you stop needing anything from them. Not an apology, not an explanation, not even closure. Because the truth is, they will never give you closure. They will never acknowledge the damage they did. They will never say, I was wrong. And waiting for that moment will only keep you trapped in their cycle. The best way to make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through is not by seeking revenge, not by trying to make them see what they did, but by proving through your actions that they no longer have a place in your world. Because narcissists feed on the idea that they are unforgettable. They thrive on the belief that you will never truly move on from them. And when you prove them wrong, when you show them that you are not only surviving without them, but thriving, that is when they feel it. That is when the pain sets in. But let's be clear, narcissists don't feel pain the way you do. They don't feel guilt. They don't feel shame. They don't feel regret in the way a normal person does. What they feel is the loss of control. What they feel is the discomfort of no longer being the center of your world. That is their version of pain. That is what makes them suffer. Not your tears, not your anger, but your indifference. See, narcissists expect you to suffer without them. They expect you to cry, to struggle, to feel lost without their presence. And for a while, maybe you do. Maybe you do go through a period where you replay everything in your mind, where you wonder how they could walk away so easily, where you ask yourself if anything was ever real. But what they don't expect is for you to wake up one day and decide that you're done. Done questioning, done waiting, done giving them space in your mind, in your heart, in your life. And when that day comes, when you stop engaging, stop reacting, stop giving them the emotional energy they feed on, that's when they start to panic. That's when they start trying to find a way back in. They might come back with apologies, with promises, with fake remorse. And if that doesn't work, they'll try to trigger you. They'll try to make you angry, make you feel guilty, make you doubt yourself all over again. Because to them, it doesn't matter whether you love them or hate them. As long as you still feel something, they still have control. That's why the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to feel anything for them at all. To erase them from your life so completely that they no longer hold any weight in your heart. Because when they realize that you have moved on without them, that their absence has made your life better instead of worse, that's when they truly feel the loss. That's when they feel the emptiness they once tried to put in you. But here's the most important part. This isn't just about them. This is about you. This is about choosing yourself, about rebuilding yourself, about becoming the person you were always meant to be before they tried to break you. Because at the end of the day, the best revenge isn't hurting them. It's making sure they never have the power to hurt you again. And by the time they realize what they lost, by the time they feel the void of no longer having control over you, you won't even care. Because you'll be too busy living the life they never wanted you to have. A life that is free, strong, and completely out of their reach. A narcissist thrives on power, on control, on knowing that they have an effect on you. They don't care if it's love or hate, admiration or anger. All they care about is being in your mind, influencing your emotions, dictating your reactions. The moment you understand this, you take your first step toward freedom. Because the only way to truly make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through is to make them irrelevant. Not by seeking revenge, not by trying to make them understand, but by becoming the one thing they never expected you to be. Completely untouchable. See, a narcissist doesn't think you will ever truly move on. They believe that their presence in your life was so significant, so powerful, that you will never be able to forget them. They assume that you will always carry the weight of their words, their manipulation, their control, and when they realize that you don't, when they see that you are thriving, smiling, succeeding without them, that's when they feel it. That's when their world starts to crack. But make no mistake, this isn't about playing games. This isn't about pretending to be happy just to get a reaction from them. This is about truly, deeply, authentically healing. It's about shifting your focus so completely onto yourself, your growth, your future, that they no longer matter. That's when the real pain starts for them. Because a narcissist can handle your anger, your tears, even your hatred, but they cannot handle being invisible. They cannot handle being forgotten. At first, they might act like they don't care. They might pretend that losing you doesn't bother them. But don't be fooled. A narcissist's ego is fragile. Their confidence is built on the illusion that they are superior, that they are in control, that they are unforgettable. The moment you prove otherwise, they start to unravel. They start wondering why you aren't chasing them, why you aren't reacting, why you don't seem to care anymore. And that's when they feel the emptiness they once tried to put inside you. They might try to pull you back in. They might send messages, make unexpected appearances, act like they've changed. They will do anything to get a response, to remind you of their existence. And the moment you engage, the moment you respond, even if it's just to tell them off, you've given them exactly what they wanted. They don't care if it's love or anger. As long as they still have a hold on your emotions, they still feel powerful. That's why the real victory is in indifference, in silence, in moving on so fully that their name doesn't even register in your mind anymore. Because when a narcissist finally realizes that they have lost you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that's when the pain hits them. That's when they feel the kind of emptiness that they spent their whole life trying to escape. But let me be clear. This isn't just about them, this is about you. This is about breaking free from their influence, from their control, from the version of yourself that they tried to create. Because you were never weak, you were never unworthy. They just made you believe that you were. And now you rise. Now you reclaim your power. Now you step into the life they never wanted you to have, a life of peace, strength, and absolute freedom. And by the time they realize what they've lost, by the time they finally feel the pain of losing you, you won't even care. Because you'll be too busy living, too busy thriving, too busy being everything they told you you could never be. And that is the greatest revenge of all. A narcissist never expects to lose control over you. They assume that no matter what they do, no matter how much they manipulate, hurt, or betray you, you will always be there, always waiting, always giving them another chance, because that's what they count on. Their ability to break you down, to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe that without them, you are nothing. But the moment you realize the truth, the moment you step back and see them for who they really are, the game changes. And trust me, nothing terrifies a narcissist more than losing control over someone they thought they owned. They don't see relationships the way you do. You see love as a connection, as trust, as something built on mutual care and respect. But to them, love is a tool, a means to an end. They use it to manipulate, to dominate, to keep you tied to them. And as long as you're still hoping, still waiting, still believing that they can change, they still have power over you. That's why the most painful thing you can do to a narcissist is not to fight them, not to argue with them, not to seek revenge. It's to move on without them, completely, without looking back. Because a narcissist thrives on attention. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, love or hate, admiration or anger. As long as they are at the center of your world, they feel powerful. And the moment you take that away, the moment you stop reacting, stop engaging, stop feeding their ego, that's when they start to panic. That's when they start to feel the emptiness they spent their whole life running from. At first, they won't show it. They'll pretend like they don't care, like losing you means nothing. They might even act like they're happier without you, like they've moved on faster than you did. But don't be fooled. A narcissist's greatest fear is being insignificant, being forgotten, being replaced. And when they realize that you don't need them, that you've built a life that is better, stronger, and happier without them, that's when they truly feel the pain. They will try to pull you back in. They'll send messages, they'll call, they'll find ways to remind you of the good times. to make you question your decision. And if that doesn't work, they'll switch tactics. They'll try to guilt you to make you feel like you're the bad person, like you abandoned them, like you never really cared. But don't fall for it, because the moment you let them back in, the moment you give them even the smallest opening, they will start the cycle all over again. The best way to make a narcissist feel the pain they put you through is to become everything they tried to destroy, to become stronger, wiser, more confident, not for them, not to prove anything, but because you deserve it. Because they spent so much time making you believe that you were weak, that you weren't good enough, that you needed them. And when you show them without words, without confrontation, without revenge, that they were wrong, that is the moment they truly suffer. But this isn't just about them. This is about you, about reclaiming your life, your energy, your peace, about realizing that you were always enough, that you never needed their validation, that you are capable of things they never wanted you to believe you could do. And when that realization hits you, when you finally break free, when you finally understand that they never had power over you to begin with, that is when you truly win.